The island of Hawaii is the site of major protests these days. The reason? The building of the world's largest optical telescope on the summit of Mauna Kea on the Big Island. Mauna Kea is one of two mountains on Hawaii and is already home to a number of internationally run telescopes that take advantage of clear skies above the clouds. But Native Hawaiian activists who have for years opposed the building of telescopes have made this new telescope their latest target. The 30-meter telescope, or TMT, will have a mirror almost 100 feet in diameter. Earlier this week, professors and students at the University of Hawaii's Honolulu campus walked out of classes in protest of the telescope that has been spearheaded by the California Institute of Technology in Pasadena in collaboration with UH. The governments of the United States, China, Japan, India, and Canada are also partnering on the project. Some weeks ago, activists blocked access of construction workers on Mauna Kea to the telescope site, with dozens of arrests resulting. There was a temporary moratorium on construction by Governor David Ige, which was just extended for another week. But many have remained near the summit in tents. Native Hawaiians consider Mauna Kea's summit sacred. There have been solidarity protests all over the U.S. and the world. Joining us now live from Hawaii is Jonathan Osorio. He's a professor at the Kamakaʻokalani Center for Hawaiian Studies at the University of Hawaii, Manoa. His recent publications include The Value of Hawaii, Knowing the Past and Shaping the Future, which he co-edited and authored, and Dismembering Lahui, the history of the Hawaiian nation to 1887. He is also a composer and singer and has been recording Hawaiian music and since 1975. Now, joining us live from near the summit of Mauna Kea by phone is Kahookahi Kanuha, a young activist and preschool teacher living in Kona on the Big Island. He's been camping on Mauna Kea at the 9,000-foot level for weeks now, along with a number of other activists intent on stopping the building of the TMT. I'd like to start with John first. Jonathan, can you explain why there's such opposition from many Native Hawaiians and others to the TMT? Astronomers are saying that this is in the interests of science and learning. It's not an issue of corporate exploitation of resources. It's consistent with Hawaiian principles of exploration, given that some of the earliest astronomers were Hawaiian people. How do you respond?
Well, the telescope corporations basically have had a long time to be able to refine their narrative about the building of this, but actually the 31-meter telescope comes at the end of a very long period of sort of explosion of telescopes on that mountain that were really not envisioned by anyone when the university made that lease. And what has actually happened is that many of those telescopes have gone in really ignoring the impact that it had on the mountain. They were not done correctly. And in fact, this morning in the newspaper, there's an article that quotes several people who are saying, that this is a project that's really being done right, that because of Native Hawaiian input and consultation over the last few years, they can rest assured that as sort of in opposition to all of the other projects that came before this, this one will be somehow above board. But it is also, by many degrees of scale, the very largest thing that we've ever seen. Its sheer size and the fact that it's going to, basically require the excavation of a fairly substantial crater on that part of the mountain in order to build it. These are the things that have sort of added fuel to people's resistance to the building of this telescope.